I'm looking at my phone also because I need to make sure that we are live in the actual group. The computer is saying that we are live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go into the group. It's telling me that I'm now live. I see myself live. So I'm going to send an announcement to make sure people know that we are here. Because right now, do you see that zero up there at the top of the screen? I don't know if you can see what I see. I'm not sure. But let me make an announcement that we are live now. We are live now. Okay. So it's 10:58. I'm going to post that, make another post in the group here. Because people are looking for a link and there is no link. All you have to do is click the button and see us. Hello, if you can hear us, please let us know where you're signing in from in the comments, please. We'll get started in a few minutes. Just make another post. Because sometimes people get confused with the time zone difference between Central and Eastern time zone. Okay, there's someone posted a comment. Hi, Maggie from Orlando. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear us. Hello, Monique from Maryland. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to give it a few more minutes before we get started today. For you ladies that have just signed on, if you can just let us know where you are signing in from. We're going to get started soon because we want to be respectful of everybody's time. Oh, she's currently working with PTY. We can't see who you are. We have one of your clients on, Kathyel, one of your clients here. We can't see who you are, sweetie. Could you click on the link to allow StreamYard to see your name? Because we can't see who that comment is. Or you can just let us know in the comments who your name is. Because she says she's currently working with you guys. So you have one of your clients already on here. Hi, Joyce. Joyce is here in Panama. And there's somebody on from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I can't see your name either, dear. But if you click on the link to allow StreamYard to see your name, then I can see it. But you don't have to. That's totally up to you. Hi, Kathy.
Hello.
There. Oh well, the link was in the StreamYard link was actually posted in the events. Um, if you go back to events, you can click on that StreamYard link, but you don't have to do it. You can just let me know who you are if you want me to uh, say your name if you have a question or something. So Annette Drayton is working.
How are
Yes.
you? Nice to meet you.
Okay, so listen, it is 11:01, and I'm all about starting on time because we want to be respectful of our guests' time as well and your time as well. So welcome to our event here in Black Women Expats in Panama. We're so glad that you're here with us today, and we have a very special guest with us today, the lovely Kathyel Ferguson with PTY lawyers. She specializes in immigration law, and she's going to talk to us today about the visas that you can get here in Panama. So before we get started, just a quick little thing I just want to say about our group. My name is Mary Goff. Let me introduce myself first. And I am one of the admins here. The other admin is Kathy Law. You'll see her online as C. Woodward Law. She's another admin here in the group. And we just created this group so we can just have a space for us to get together, to meet each other, to socialize, and also to be able to share resources, things that can make our lives easier and helpful to us as we visit Panama or if we're considering relocating. So that's why we're doing this group. We are going to have monthly events, so keep your eyes out for that. We're going to put a lot of save the dates out there so you can plan your visits accordingly. And our next event is July 11th, which is going to be a private cooking class just for us. We're going to cook these yummy desserts, and we're going to also have some wine. So look at our event page and sign up for that event. It's on July 11th. So we hope you can join us for that. So without further ado, we are going to get started because it is now 11:03. And so we are right on time. So once again, I just want to say welcome to our special guest, Kathyel Ferguson. If you want to just say hello before we get
Hello.
started.
No, well, I'm really happy and thank you very much to invite me. Um, our office specializes in immigration law, real estate. We'll be very happy to help you in your moving to Panama. And of course, I know that this conversation will help you to have some idea of what you need to move to Panama, but you can contact me if you want to know more specific information or have a doubt. You can send me an email and I will be really, really glad to help you.
Okay, so we have Kathyel's email on the screen, and we'll keep that up as we go move along with our day. Oh, also, I just wanted to let you know that this is going to be like an informal conversation. If you have any questions at all, you don't have to wait until the end. You can just put them on the comments, and then we'll answer the questions in real time. All right,
Mhm.
so let's get started. So, what type of visas are available if someone is interested in relocating to Panama? Can you briefly tell us about the visas and tell us a little bit about each visa?
Of course. Well, in Panama, right now there are some residency permits that you can look for, but the most popular are the Pensionado visa, the Friendly Countries or Friendly Nations visa, and the Investments visa. I'm going to tell you a little bit of each. For example, for the Pensionado visa, the applicant need to be receiving a pension, preferable for the Social Security, military. No, you need to be receiving a pension of at least $1,000. This $1,000 should be after deductions. Okay, this is just for one person. Is for example, you are want to apply for residency with your spouse. This pension should be of at least $1,250 to cover a couple. Okay, that is for the pensionado visa. That is like the main requirement for the pensionado visa. For the friendly countries visa, first you need to be one of the countries or a citizen of the countries that are allowed to apply for the friendly nations visa. From this continent, we have United States, Canada, Mexico, some countries of South America, most of Europe. So there are like more of 20 countries that are included in that list. Once you know that your country is included and you can use it, now the main investment that you have to do to apply for that residency permit is buy a property in Panama of at least $200,000 or have a long-term deposit in a bank in Panama, also for the amount of $200,000 for at least 3 years. Now, in the past, until last year, This residency permit granted residency, the same year you apply, that same year you apply, you get the permanent residency. Now, unfortunately, since September of last year, this changed, and now the applicant needs to apply for a provisional residency of 2 years. And when these 2 years are about to expire, then he can apply for the permanent residency. This is almost for all residency permits now. There are just a few that get the residency in less than a year. Uh, for the moment, there are no questions on it.
No, not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay. Now, the other residency permit that we see as a good option is the investment visa. For this, it doesn't matter the citizenship. It can be requested by anyone that fulfill the main requirements. Which are the main requirements? For this one, the investment should be of $300,000. That's the benefit, for example, to be able to apply for the friendly nation visa. You save $100,000 if you are looking to apply for residency in Panama. But also for the residency permit of the $300,000, it's the same as the other one. You apply for a provisional residency of 2 years, and when these 2 years are about to expire, then you apply for a residency for the permanent residency. And finally, we have like a higher visa that was that started 2 years ago, in which you invest $500,000, but that gives you the permanent residency in less than 6 months. Because of the large amount of money that you're investing in Panama, Panama is giving to you the permanent residency in less time. Okay.
I had a question about the friendly nation visa.
Mhm.
Did you say you had to invest? Did you say 200,000?
$200,000 at
So
least.
so basically, like someone would have to come in and like buy a property, buy a condo, or
Yes, it can be even a lot, but this permit is popular because usually when you move to Panama, you invest in a property, and
Mhm, mhm.
well, usually the properties are not so cheap, so you
Right.
keep spending 200,000 or more.
Okay.
Okay, this residency permit also have the option that if you are not investing, but um, if you find a job in Panama and you are hired by a company, and this company puts you in a payroll, pay social security, etc., you can apply for the friendly nation visa
Mhm.
through this work agreement.
So we do have a question
Okay.
from Miss James. Says, with the provisional visa, can we stay in Panama the full time for the entire 2 years?
Oh yes, even if when you start your immigration process, you need to arrive in Panama with all the documentation ready. We submit the application, and at that moment, you get a temporal card of 6 months. Then, when the process is ready, so the immigration office complete the process, you will receive the provisional card of 2 years, and of course, that will allow you to stay for the 2 years until you apply for the permanent. Panama will allow you to stay if you're ready to start the process. You can be here all the process, the 6 months of the process, then the provisional card of 2 years, and then the permanent. So you don't need to leave Panama unless you need to or you prefer to do so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to go on. We'll still be taking questions as they come in. So let's talk a little bit more in detail about the Pensionado visa and what are some of the benefits.
Okay, the benefits, the main benefits of the pensionado visa is that it's the less expensive residency permit. Why is that? Because for all the other residency permits, you need to pay government fees. That per person are $250 that needs to be paid for to the national treasury, and $800 that needs to be paid to the immigration office. So per person, just in that is $1,050. Also, the other main benefit of the pensionado visa is that it will give you the permanent residency in 6 months. And the other main benefit that everyone likes is that once you are a pensionado in Panama, you can receive all the discounts that Panamanians, pensionados and jubilados receive. What are the discounts? You will receive 25% discounts in restaurants, 50% discounts in movie theaters, 25% discounts in airline tickets, in also discounts in your electric bill, water bill. So yes, the pensionado visa is really popular if you can apply for it.
Yes, right.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm seeing a
quick.
question here.
Can you see that question? I am confused on the $500 you just mentioned. Can you explain again, please?
Okay, so there are two investment visa. One is of $300,000 and the other one is of $500,000. If you use this, if you buy a property in Panama that costs $500,000, Panama will give you the permanent residency in a few months. However, this visa is a little more expensive because, for example, the government fees that we were talking, the other ones, the 250 and the 800, in this residency permit change and are $5,000 each government fee. So the applicant pay in government fees $10,000. So it have benefits, but you need to invest in the benefit to getting the permanent residency.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so
I see another question. Okay, the 200,000 in the bank is for the friendly nation visa. So first, keep in mind that we need to be one of the citizenships. For example, Americans can apply for it without a problem. Yes, if you don't want to buy a property and you prefer to have a long-term deposit, you can have that $200,000 in a bank in Panama for at least 3 years, and that allows you to apply for the friendly nations visa.
got it.
Mhm.
Okay, these questions are rolling in. So while
Yes,
you're, I guess while you're staying and waiting for your visa, they want to know, does this allow for
yes.
multiple entry during your waiting
But right
times?
now, it's almost mandatory to pay for it because in the past, the multiple entry visa was stamped in the passport. It was like a seal that the government put in the passport. Now that multiple entry visa is a QR that is in the temporary immigration card, and
Mhm.
with that QR, once you leave Panama and you come back, you have your multiple entry visa ready.
So the answer would be you, while you're waiting, you can leave and come back.
Yes, and we always recommend to have it because you never need. In the past, you never know. Maybe you say, "Hey, no, I am going to stay here. I'm not planning to leave Panama," but then
Right,
you have an emergency, and that took
right.
3 days. 3 days to get it. But if you leave Panama without it, you will be fined with $2,000 when you return.
Ah, okay. So it's best to get it when you're applying.
Yes, for that we always when we make quotation with our clients, we include it. It costs is
Yes,
$50 per person. Mhm.
yes. Awesome. Okay, so let's go with our next question about the pensionata visa. It's only based on getting $1,000 a month, no property ownership?
No, you can be renting here in Panama, and just the important is that you receive $1,000 as pension from the government. Social security, military. When you receive private pensions, the process is a little different. Not impossible, but say that a little bit more complicated.
Okay, all right. Okay, if I am a dependent on my husband retirement visa, can I still work remote in the US?
I don't understand. So you will not live in Panama?
Um, Nettie, Ms. Drayton, can you clarify your comment? We don't want to misunderstand. Are you saying that if you are if your husband has a retirement visa and you're his dependent, can you stay here in Panama and do remotely work in the U.S.? Is that what you're saying? Because I think that would depend on your company in the U.S. I think she's saying that if she has, and clarify me if I'm wrong, if she's on her husband's retirement, if he has a pensionata visa and she's his dependent, is she allowed to work uh,
Okay.
remotely in the U.S.?
But that means that she will work from Panama. She will have a work in United States, but from Panama.
She will
That's
be
it.
lit. She will be okay. Say that again.
Sorry. It's because for the question, what I understand is that she was going to be here in Panama living, but she
Mhm.
will be working, I don't know, maybe from the computer
Yeah.
uh, and have work in United States. That is not a problem. If that
Okay.
is the question. If that is
You're
the
right.
question, that is not a problem.
If that's the question, that's not a problem. If that's not the question, let us know in the comments. Okay, so let's get to the next one here. Are the discounts also applicable to the Friendly Nation visa, which I already have when I reach age 55?
Yes. In Panama, all the foreigners, when they are permanent residents, doesn't matter which residency permit they apply for. Once they have the age, they can apply for the discounts. For women, it's 55 years, and for men, 60 years. So yes, if you apply for the Friendly Nation visa and you're a permanent resident and you have 55 years, you can apply for the discounts. You can get them.
Nice.
Mhm. Okay, the thing with the pensionado is, for example, if you start receiving pension since, I don't know, you are 48 years,
Hmm.
you can get the discounts prior or in advance because you will be a pensionado visa. You will have the pensionado visa.
Okay, so that's the difference. Okay.
Uh-huh. But
The,
yes, every foreigner that is a permanent resident in Panama, once they get the age, they will receive the discounts.
so the Pensionata visa has no age requirement.
Well, it doesn't have an age, but usually there's no young people with good
Right.
pensions
Yeah,
unless
that's
they
true.
have a
Unless,
disability or something like that.
okay, got it. Got
Mhm.
it.
But yes, the
Okay.
law doesn't say that you need to have a certain age.
Okay, great. Okay, we have another question. I have a friend that is not old enough for Social Security. If they're a visa that doesn't require 200K, she can use until her Social Security of more than 1,000 a month starts.
Now, unfortunately, to apply for the pensionado visa, the applicant must be already receiving the pension. It's not that, for example, I'm receiving my pension in 2025. I will apply now and get the residency. No, you will need to wait until 2025 to then start the pensionado visa process.
Okay, so I think we can't see your name, Miss Facebook user, about the Social Security. We can't see your name. Please let us know if we answer your question. I think you're looking to know. You want to know if there's another visa that doesn't require 200,000 K, and I don't think there is another visa. She's basically saying her friend is not old enough for Social Security, and can
Okay.
she do something else while she's waiting to get the age, I guess, right?
Yes, unfortunately, to get permanent residence in Panama, an
Hmm.
investment needs to be done. There are
Yes.
other residency permits, for example, working visas, but for
Hmm.
those visas, you need that a company hires you.
Ah, a
So,
Panamanian company?
well,
Or,
a company that is registered in Panama
okay, got it.
hires you, and then you have the option to apply for a working visa. But in
Okay,
the other way, if not, you need to invest,
okay,
to then be eligible to get permanent residency.
okay, okay, great. All right, so I think we answered your question. Let us know. Thanks, ladies. I appreciate all the questions here. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Did I hear you say that it costs $50 for a multiple entry visa? Is this in addition to any other visa that you're waiting for?
Okay, this multiple entry visa is only, it's not a multiple entry visa category. It is the name of like, I don't know how to say, like, it's like an authorization. The multiple entry visa is an authorization that allows you to leave Panama meanwhile the process is taking place.
Yes, yes,
Hmm?
yes. Okay, so basically what she's saying is an authorization. It's not like you're getting a whole nother visa.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no.
it's just in addition to the visa that you already have. Like for me, I'm working with Kathyel. I have my temporary visa. I'm getting my Pensionata visa, and so I have authorization to come and go to leave Panama while I'm waiting for my permanent residency. So it's just another authorization that her company automatically gives you because they don't want you to be faced with an emergency and then you can't leave the country, or if you do, you get fined. So that's something that their company automatically does for you when you're working with them. All
Mhm.
right. Okay, so let's go to the next one here from Katura. I just want to confirm if I'm getting a $1,000 a month from my pension as a public school teacher, I can still get the pensionata.
Well, if you want, you can send me an email with a copy of the pension that you receive, and I can tell you. Because, for example, we have other clients in United States and in Canada. For example, you have many government pensions. In
Mhm,
Panama, we only have Social Security. But I hear, for example, I have a pension from the Detroit city,
mhm,
or
mhm,
something like that. So
mhm,
I also think in the past I have one of the Teachers of California, or something like that. So if you send me
mhm.
a copy of the pension letter that you have, I can let you know by sure if it will be good to use for the pensionado visa.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next one from Kathy. If you work, not retired, and earn $1,000 a month or more, are you eligible for a visa?
But if you work in Panama, I assume, or
So, what was your question, Kathy?
no, because I'm asking if the work is in Panama. If
Okay.
she's or the question is if she's working in, for example, in United States, and she have that salary and want to apply for residency in Panama. That is not an option. The option, if she works in Panama, uh, if she works
She,
in Panama for a company, she's in payroll and everything,
mm,
yes, she will be eligible for to apply for residency
okay.
permit.
Okay, she's saying yes, but the company is US based. She
So
works,
is
but the
she,
company is in the US. She works here in
no,
She lives here, but the company is in US.
uh, well, I think that that is a special case. In this kind of things, it's better to talk it
Right.
personally. You can
Okay.
send me an email and we can see your special conditions to see your possibilities.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Okay. Here's our next question. So, Kathy, it sounds like oh, she said it was remote work. So if someone is staying in Panama and working
Mm,
remotely in the US, and they're making over 1,000 a month, can they apply for a visa?
Well, there is that residency permit uh, that, yes, it's like a remote worker visa. The problem with that visa is that the requirements are not as easy. If you can get it, perfect. But we found out that for some clients tell us that it was not so easy to get. It's a little bit complicated, and it only grants the residency for 9 months. You need to be renewing every 9 months
Wow.
the residency, and between legal fees, expenses, you can be spending 1,600 every 9 months.
Wow. Okay.
So yes, for example, that visa requires that the person have certificate of existence of the company, of the American company, um, needs to have a bank statement certificate certifying that um, the salary that she receive is linked or related to the company that hires her. So you see that the requirements are not just like a letter from the company saying that you are working here. So yes, any way you can contact me, I can tell you the requirements if you are still interested, and see. But just
Okay.
that we all seem that it's a little bit expensive for the short term period that it granted the residency to be here in Panama.
Okay. All right. And if your questions, if you need a little more, detail with your questions, you can always send Kathyel an email, and she can talk to your particular situation if we don't get to it here.
Mhm.
Okay, so our next question is, speaking of tourist visas, is it true with my American passport, I can fly into Panama and stay there for 6 months without applying for any visa beforehand?
Yes. At the moment, only American citizens and Canadian citizens can be tourists in Panama for 180 days. That, yes, are the 6 months that you are indicating. Just keep in consideration that if you stay for the 6 months, even though that is not taxative in the law, a few years ago there was some um, comments or announcement of the immigration office that says that if you stay for that period of time, the best is that when you leave Panama, you live for at least a month. Because you know that there's a lot of people that stay 3 months, live for 3 days, and then return. They will not
Mm.
have any problem. But if you stay for the 6 months, the best is that you stay at least for a month out. Maybe when you return, there will not be any problem, even if you stay less. But the to be safe, and travel without a problem, is that you stay the longest time possible out of Panama if you stay here for 6 months.
Got it. Because you don't want to be flagged by immigration.
Yes, imagine that you arrive here and they're like, hey, you have like 2 years doing that, 6 months, return,
Right.
6 months, return. And the authorities, they are going to see and see that it's time to apply for residency.
Right. 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 You know what? You're trying to beat the system here. Okay, so we're going to go to our next question was, um, once I decide on the type of visa that I want to apply for, what is the first step?
Well, the best is to contact the lawyer which you want to work with, so you can review requirements. For example, what I do with my clients before they arrive in Panama, I ask them to send me to me the copies of their documents, everything, criminal reports, pension letters, everything that is needed for their applications from abroad. Because once you are in Panama, getting them is a little bit complicated. I'm not going to say that it's going to be impossible, but it's going to be a little bit complicated and expensive. So the best is that you arrive in Panama with all your documents. And why I said that you contact your lawyer? Because sometimes you Google, you look for information, you find out, oh, I need this, and you go and get this, and when you arrive in Panama, neither of the documents that you have can be used. So the best is that before you arrive in Panama, you contact the person that you want to work with, review the documents in advance, and start your relationship from them. That way, when you arrive in Panama, you know that everything will work and that you can start the process as soon as you arrive.
Yes, and that's exactly what I did with Kathyel. She sent me a list of the documents that were required, and like once I went out and got them done, she'd say, send them, send the copy to me first, so I can make sure you have it done correctly. You have it, because why? Because you don't want to like just go get things done and just come here with a bunch of documents and they're all wrong, like she said. But her process there, they have a check and balance where you send the documents, a copy of the documents to them first to make sure they are the correct documents. And then I FedEx the documents to her prior to arriving so they can already start the process for you before you arrive. They have a very, very good system, very efficient. So I had none of the horror stories I hear about with other people. It was it's been a really great process. And one thing I want to mention that I really appreciate, I was here when I first got here. 2 weeks later, I had my temporary visa, and Kathyel was like, "Okay, all you do is go to the office, and my assistant is going to be there. She's already waiting for you." So I get there, and she already had the number, for us to wait. And like 20 minutes later, I mean, I had my little card in my hand. So it was like a very fast and efficient process. So I
Well,
appreciate that.
we really try to make this less stressful process possible. Sometimes, we're working with government office, so sometimes things don't work as we want. We would like that all of you just stay there 20 minutes, but sometimes you need to be there an hour.
Absolutely.
but,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but always will be with someone of our office. You never be there alone. Uh, because we understand that moving is not easy, so we were happy to help you.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to, I think you might have talked about this, but we'll go on. What are some important things to remember? I think you covered some of this, Kathy. Else, what are some important things to remember when applying for a visa?
Yes, we don't want to sound repeated and redundant, but as we say, contact your lawyer. Why? Because reviewing the documents is really important. For example, I have couples that when you want to apply together, you need a marriage certificate. And they say, hey, no, yeah, I see the checklist, I have my marriage certificate, perfect, no problem. But if I don't review it first, or your lawyer doesn't review first, you come, for example, with your marriage certificate when you married 20 years ago. And unfortunately, that document cannot be used here for immigration purposes. For immigration, all the documents needs to be valid for 6 months or
Oh,
maximum 6 months. For example, if you want to apply for residency in December, you are planning to be in Panama in December. You should start the sooner you can start collecting the documents is July. So when you arrive in Panama, they will still be valid. But for
ah,
example, with the marriage certificate, sometimes our clients don't understand, hey, but why we cannot use the original? Is the more formal document, but no, unfortunately, for immigration purposes, the documents needs to be, cannot be older than 6 months.
right. That's a very important tip. Very important. Okay. I'm going to go with the next question while I'm waiting for another question from the audience here. Why is it important to use an attorney who practices immigration law instead of just a regular attorney?
Well, I think that as everything, you want to work with someone that knows what needs to be done. It's like you go to a doctor. If you have an eyes problem, you're not going to the dentist, to the people that work with your eyes.
Right, right.
So with immigration and also everything here, I think that the best is that you can contact a person that is used to work with immigration office, that goes frequently or practice immigration law, you know, almost all the time possible, because
Mhm.
immigration also have the situation that sometimes they change requirements, not necessarily, maybe there are small things, but they can cause that you have a delay in submitting your application. But if someone is used to practice and go to immigration law office and see everything, they will know everything in advance and can tell the client that, hey, no, this used to be this way, now we need to do this. That way
Right,
you are not like, oh, we were planning just to go there for 2 weeks, but when we arrive, we have a surprise, and then we need to stay for a month. For example, I don't know. It's something that the best is that you can work with someone that can tell you exactly what you need to bring and to do once you arrive
Ab-
in Paris.
absolutely. That's extremely important. We just had another question here. Here it is. What about, we can't see your name, but we're going to get to your question. Good to know. She's supportive. What about health exam for pensionata?
Yes, well, all residency permits needs a certificate, a good health certificate. We can assist you with that unless you have, I don't know, any major disease. Maybe it will be necessary, a special attention on this. But if you are in good health and everything, that this ITE will not be as a problem to get it here. We will assist you with that. Don't worry.
Okay, so we have a next question. How easy, well, we talked a little bit about that. How easy or difficult is it to work in Panama on a visa? Well, Kathyel talked about getting your documents done prior to, but I guess we can talk a little bit more about that because, yeah, I mean, from my personal experience, I had all of my requirements done in the US because, like she mentioned before, it's a lot easier to get it done. Like if you have to get fingerprints done, boom, you can go to your local police station and get them done for free. If you have to get something apostle, you can either send it to an office in DC who does that and they can, send it right back to you. If you had to get a health exam, you can go to your, everything can be done on a much easier and, like she said, least expensive way. Once you get here, trying to get fingerprints, trying to get an appointment at the embassy to get something apostle is going to take probably a lot longer and it's gonna be more difficult. So, but she could talk about that. But I think it's better to get practically all your requirements done in the U.S. prior to getting here. You can still get it done here, but it's going to probably take a little bit more money and take a little bit more time. But Kathy, oh, you can hit on that.
Yes, yes, as you say, for example, yes, we have these situations of people that first they come to Panama, they buy the property, and then they say, hey, let's start with the immigration, but I don't want to go back to United States. We say, okay. For example, as for the here in Panama, well, in the past you get it in the police office here in the city, but since the COVID situation, they stopped doing that, and now you can get them in a public notary here in Panama. But for example, that would cost. I think that maybe United States, I don't know if that is free, but here they will. You get to the notary, they certify that they are taking your fingerprints, and you get them. Then you can send them to United States. I don't know, you can send it directly through the page of the FBI, for example. But I think that will take a little bit of more of time.
Oh, yeah.
There are companies that can assist you with that, and maybe you will get it in 1 week, for example. But once you have it, then it needs to go to United States for legalization, because unfortunately the criminal reports cannot be legalized in Panama. Neither
Mhm.
in the embassies cannot do that. So you need to send the document to the best is to work with the main consulate, that is the one in Washington. They legalize the document, and then you can receive it back. But all that steps could be, just the legalization could be 3 weeks, for example. Sending the documents, the embassy will take 2 weeks, then send it back here. The
Yeah.
couriers now, since COVID, the couriers are so expensive, and now with the gasoline, uh, we are sending package to United States for $100, and it's like $200 just sending documents back up, you know. So it's something that, yes, it's not impossible. If you are living in Panama already, it's like the option that you have. But if it's possible that you get them before you arrive in Panama, it's the best.
Okay. Okay, we have, I think you're gonna have to redo your question once all documents are sent. Ms. Drayton, if you can redo that question, because we don't have your full question, so we really can't answer that. So I'm gonna go to the next one, but just wanted you to be aware that we see your question, but I need you to retype it for us, please. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Would chronic health conditions, diseases disqualify you?
No, they are not that you are going to be disqualified. It's just that maybe you will need um, more specific health certificate here in Panama, maybe to a specific doctor, that you get a health certificate, not to a general doctor that we can recommend, for example, that can assist us with that. But it's not that you're going to be disqualified to have any disease to apply for residency.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm not really sure what this was to a comment. To clarify, to be hired as an employee as a non-Panamanian. I'm not sure what this went with, this comment. Um, to be clear, to be hired as an employee as a non-Panamanian. I'm not sure exactly, this must have went with another question. If you could maybe let us know, because I don't know what that particular comment is to a response to. Um, so we really can't get that. Here's our next question. Great information. Once you have permanent residency, is it a requirement to get a e-cedula?
Well, it's not that you are mandatory to have it, but getting it is really easy once you're a permanent resident. Like a month or 2 months later, we will receive a document that will allow you to get the cedula. You will just need to go, or we make up an appointment at the government office in Panama that issues the cedula. You go, sign documents, take a picture, pay the fee, and you will receive the cedula. If you don't get the cedula, um, when once you are a permanent resident, for example, you say, I don't want the cedula, and then 5 years later you are like, okay, now I want my cedula. It will be possible, but then you have to request it to the immigration office, submit documents, and you will spend more money in that if you get it when you could do it, in a
Yeah.
faster process and not pay extra fees.
And someone just said, what is the cedula?
Okay, the cedula is like the final document once you are a permanent resident. You will receive a permanent card once you are a permanent resident that is issued by the immigration office. But the cedula is issued by the Civil Registry Tribunal Electoral. That is the one that issue the residency cards for the Panamanians also. So the cedula will give you like a Panamanian number. And for example, to give you an idea, once you have the cedula and you have bank accounts in Panama, the best is that you go to the bank and update this information that you already have the cedula. Because, for example, even if you're a permanent resident, if you don't have the cedula, you just have your permanent residency card. Once you go to the bank, they will require the passport. So you will need to bring both passport and immigration card. But if you have the cedula, you can keep the passport at home forever and just take it with you when you travel and just be with your cedula in Panama. But with the immigration card, you will need to have it for example, for the bank, because the bank, yes, they will see the immigration card, but they also like to see your formal document from abroad. That will be your passport.
Yeah, it's like your permanent, it's like, to me, it's like running a marathon and going across the line and saying, "Oh no, I don't want the medal," So, it's your permanent ID. I mean, it's like your gold card. I mean, you want that, yeah, and you need it sometimes for discounts. For instance, um, she was talking about the airline discounts. You cannot get your airline discount without your scheduler. I mean, because I went to Copa Airlines to find out the requirements, and because I'm going to be getting a Pensionata visa, and she said once you get your scheduler, you bring it back here, and then we can give you your discount. So that's like you want that. That's your gold card. I don't know if anybody's saying I don't want one. So yeah,
Maybe a few years ago,
yeah,
but now everyone is like, I want my cedula, I want my cedula.
yes. That's your gold card. Um, okay, so the difficulty. I still don't really understand this question here. The difficulty of working in Panama. Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I need you to put all of that information into one question so we can make sure we get that. I think I see you down here. I'll get back to you. I'm going to go to the next one here. Let's see. Can we speak on the issue of being away from Panama 24 months and risk losing your permanent residency status?
Mhm. Okay, the law says that once you are a permanent resident, to keep this permanent residency, you need to visit Panama at least once every 2 years.
Mhm.
If you stay out of Panama for more than 2 years, then it will may be necessary that you um, request to the immigration office that they like validate your residency.
Mhm.
It's not that you need to start over again. It's like a application that needs to be submitted to the immigration office. You will need to explain why you were not in Panama for 2 years,
Wow.
and then the immigration office will activate, to say the word, something like, your residency. Now, usually this doesn't happens automatically.
Mhm.
Before doing this, the government has some work, so be pending of everyone that is out of the country is a little bit complicated.
Mhm.
But there is that alternative. It's not that you are going to lose your permanent residency, just that it may be necessary that you reactivate it. Now,
Mm.
there is the case that you will lose it if you are out for more than 6 years. If you are out of
Ah,
Panama for more than 6 years, they will cancel it, and you need to start a new process.
okay. All right. That's good to know. Okay, so our next question is, what does it take to get a Panamanian passport, or is it even possible?
Well, to get a Panamanian passport, you need to be a Panamanian citizen. So you will need to apply for the Panamanian citizenship to be able to get this passport. Now, once you're a permanent resident and you have 5 years of being a permanent resident, you have the option to apply for the citizenship. Now, this process is it takes time, so you need to be a little bit patient of it. You need to know Spanish, because you will have interviews in Spanish, and do some steps. The important is that if you want to apply for it, you need to live in Panama. It's not that you are once a week in Panama a year, and then in 5 years you are like, okay, I want to now apply for it. No, you need to live in Panama to have the option, have at least 5 years, and then start the process. What I said that you need to be patient because in for experience and also we talk with other colleagues, the um, the minimum approximate amount that this can take is 3 years, but
Mm.
we have other that say, hey, we're in year 7 and we're still waiting.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
a long process, but if you're interested and you fulfill the requirements, it's possible, but just to have that in mind.
You could be waiting 7 years. Okay, so let's see. I guess, is this another way to get a Panamanian passport?
Well, even with that, you need to apply for the citizenship. You will not get here the Panamanian passport just marrying a Panamanian.
It won't be instant.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all right. Yeah, I know you were. I know you were, sweetie. I know you were joking. Just adding a little, sort of, you were joking. Oh, goodness.
Hey, but if you find a Panamanian that you fall in love and you married, also you can apply for that residency permit.
She's asking c- if you have an uncle or brother.
Well, no,
Uh,
brother, no, because I'm an only child. I should look if I have any uncle, any single uncle.
Okay. Here's a question. If you were born in Panama but left as a young child, do you have citizenship?
Yes, if you were born in Panama, you are a Panamanian citizen. You maybe it will be necessary to look for your birth certificate here in Panama. We have some clients in this situation, and yes, they get the citizenship without a problem. Even we have clients that were born when United States was here in Panama,
Hmm.
and we have, for example, if they were born in the hospitals here in Panama, we were able to get them also the citizenship. That is
Oh,
a faster process in just a few months.
wow. Okay. It's good to know. All righty. I'm going to put your email back up here. Well, we are heading to, it is 11:55. Do we have any more questions? We really appreciate your time spending this last hour with us. Let me go to my little list. I think we've hit everything.
Mhm.
we we have hit everything on our list here. We want to thank you, ladies, for joining us today, and definitely want to thank our guests, Ms. Kathyel Ferguson from PTY Lawyers. If you need her services, please reach out to her. This video will be available for the ladies that couldn't watch it. I know I had a couple of people say they were at work and they wanted to get the information, so we'll have it in our group for you to watch and get the information. But listen, make sure you use her email, I guess respectfully, if it's just a general question that we already talked about in this video, please rewatch the video. Let's not, just bombard her with a bunch of random questions, because we covered a whole lot of information here. But if you have a particular situation and then you want to hire her for your services, then please go right ahead. But I just don't want us to take advantage of her kindness today.
I also appreciate you that you invite us to talk with you. And yes, please, you can contact me. We will really, really be glad to assist you. Our office, we're a small office, but we dedicate specifically to immigration law, real estate, and corporate law. That we found out that is basically what people is looking for when they are moving here to Panama. So we can help you with all that process, even if you want to buy a property or rent. Also, we can assist you with that.
Awesome. That's really good to know. Do you I have a question, like if someone is looking to rent an apartment and they wanted someone to like go over their rental contract
Yes, of
to
course.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm the lawyer in the office that take care of the immigration process, and
Hmm.
the other lawyer take care of the real estate transactions,
Okay.
review agreements, and all that takes that involves getting a
Right.
property here in Panama.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's great to know. All righty. Do we have any more questions? I am oh, wait a minute. I see some hold on. I see some. Oh, we just have some really nice thank yous. We appreciate you.
I'm seeing some here. We have offices in the city, in Panama City, and we
Mhm.
also have an office in Gorgona, in the beach area that we attend by previous appointments.
Okay. Okay. So there's an office here in the city, and also by appointment, there's an office in Gorgona as well. So we appreciate you, ladies. Thank you much for joining us. Um, we're getting a lot. Yes, the office is located in Panama City as well. Yes. Um, okay. So we got all these thank yous. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We thank Kathyel so much for joining us. And our next event is July 11th. Please check it out. And we will see you soon.
Thank you.
And we got one more comment. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, that's just another thank you. All right. Bye, ladies.
Thank you.